Welcome back guys to another one of my videos, and what I got for you guys today is another top ranking video about the most annoying things that can and will most certainly happen to you on the racetrack, or in other words, when racing. Before I can get into the video, let me tell you guys that if you subscribe to my channel, you get shouted out in the beginning of my next video. So if you want a free shout out, feel free to subscribe, as that really helps me and you grow your popularity on YouTube. Also feel free to like, comment, and share, as that will also help me and you grow, because you're doing a good deed. So thumbs up for you if you do end up doing what I just said. So with everything out of the way, let's begin with today's top ranking video, most annoying and irritating things that happen during races in GTA Online. So this week we've had double money and RP on all stunt races in GTA Online. So I thought that I'd do some races and see how well they pay out. During my racing, I encountered some really infuriating moments, and I think we've all had that moment when we want to curse at the game for being horrible and whatnot. So here's my list of the most infuriating events that happen, at least to me, while racing in these stunt races. First up, we've got picking the wrong car. This is rare to happen, but before starting the race you can obviously pick your car, and most of the time you can use personal and customized vehicles. So how bad would it feel to have accidentally picked the wrong car for the race, or even a stock car when you could have used a customized car? The worst thing is when you're waiting for the lobby to start the race, so you go over to the kitchen and get some food, and the moment you're back the race has already started, so you start driving the wrong way. Second up is failing to get a head start. The last few seconds before starting the race, so the final countdown, if you press R2 or the acceleration button right on time, you will get a sweet head start that can get you a few spaces ahead right on the start if done correctly. But sometimes you just miss that incredibly small amount of time that you have to get it just right and get the head start. It's not the end of the world if you fail to catch the head start, so don't start going nuts and dip your PS4 in your clothes bleach. You can still win the race. Third up is being slipstreamed by other racers. Slipstreaming is a mechanic during races where people driving behind you get a boost to their speed so as to beat you and get in front of you. The way I know if someone is slipstreaming is because to the back of their car when they slipstream you'll see lines of air forming, if you know what I mean. Slipstreaming is in my opinion, isn't really fair, as you're being given an advantage over other players. You're being boosted by the game, and that's not too fair if only you are the one being boosted. If you're ahead of someone, it's because you beat that player and left him in the dust, so why should the game bring him out of the dust? However, slipstreaming can be turned off if you are the host of the race. Also, slipstreaming can be confused with catch-up. Catch-up, not ketchup, is when the car in front of you is slowed down so that you can catch up, literally. Next up is crashing into players. Races can sometimes be jam-packed full of smelly, unshowered level 20 noobs, and if you're the only pro racer, it's your job to escape this huge mess. However, racetracks are not runways. They're narrow and don't leave too much space, especially in the first and early stages of the race, when everyone is right next to each other. Bumping and crashing is predicted with nearly a guarantee of it happening. But most annoying is when the race has already started minutes ago, cars have separated with some distance, and everyone is doing their thing. When ahead of you someone has crashed and they drive backwards, they reverse intentionally to crash into you. Now here we're starting with some seriously annoying and infuriating events. So if you haven't noticed an increase in the tension of my voice, then wait up, because I got a few more things to say. Fifth up is falling off the track. Falling off the track, in my opinion, is worse than crashing into other players. Or maybe not. I think crashing into players is worse, but falling off the track also makes you pluck your eyes out. I'm not talking about being bumped off the track or pushed or shoved or kicked or thrown or blown out of the track. We'll get to that stuff. I'm talking here about you yourself, so you're the only person to blame for driving like a drunk president and falling off the track, losing you tons of time and even losing positions in the race. There have been countless times where I was first, second, or third, and I fell off the track and I ended up close to or even in the last position of the race. By that time, driving off the track might actually be a better decision, because if you try to recover your position, it'll just be in vain. Six up, six, I don't know about this number, but in this position we've got being spun out by other players. I don't mean being spun off the track, but just being spun out in the track. I think this is one of the things a lot of us can relate to. You're just driving in a straight line, just pressing the R2 button, whistling in your car, and you slipstream past the car, and the car says, "Slipstream my ass," and drives the front of his car into the back of your car, and you go spinning I don't know how many 360s and you lose the goddamn race. There are people that must just have to spin you out. It's their lifeline. Maybe they're absolute retards, and when you ask them why they've spun you out, they might answer, "Because the Rockstar terms of service said so." These people are people you want to stay away from. This is pretty much griefing, but in races. However, griefing can actually become way worse in what I'm gonna say now, which is just Forza Need for Speed total BS. What's coming up is unbelievable, and let's go ahead and say it. Number one most annoying event, the elite most irritating occurrence, the top most infuriating thing, the absolute rage infusing and adrenaline pumping joyride that can happen to you while racing, is being thrown off the track. And I actually stopped myself here and gave a minute of silence to all the racers that have been thrown off the track and died, but I gotta speak up for them, so let's go. This is griefing in races to its utmost and ultimate splendor. This is griefing without handlebars, griefing in its purest and most convincing form. And you might think I'm making too big of a deal, but no, I'm not, because this makes me and all the people to which it happens so mad. There are people that even drive you off the track with no other intention but to throw you off. I even have some footage recorded of me in this bike race of this guy that literally crashed into my bike and stuck to me, and we both fell off, and the guy didn't even seem to have the slightest hesitation or regret for throwing me off. He was determined to throw me off, and he would not have had it any other way. He obviously had no care or thought about his life. He just saw me and started up turbo or something, but we can't do anything about these people really. Just try to survive out there. And now that I'm talking about races, especially stunt races, because this is the footage that you're seeing, stunt races. This week we've had double money and RP on stunt races, so I thought I might go ahead and try them out. And here's some screenshots of the end of race rewards. And look at the top 3 and especially the top spot. The amount of money you got, over 70k. So if double money and RP on stunt races go out again sometime, I'm telling you they're worth doing. That is if you're gonna get to high places. Anyways, this was today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, so let me know if you are liking these top ranking videos. I'm sure to make more in the future. So like, comment, share if you want, and subscribe for a free shout out in the beginning of my next video. Just make sure you have your subscriptions set to public. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.